Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village Project. I'm here standing by the side of a road. I'm coming back from getting some gas for my chainsaw and I had to hit the brakes because I found walnuts. I am always looking when I'm driving for free perennial fruits, nuts, fruit trees, cuttings, seeds, seedlings to be had. And the more you do this, the more you realize there is a tremendous abundance completely for free. I'm not going to be eating these walnuts, I'm going to be planting them. And if you really think about the yield, I just got about 2 dozen of these things. So that's about 2 dozen potential black walnut trees that I will be able to plant. So if you think about it, that's hundreds, thousands of pounds even of really good proteins and fats that I'm getting completely for free. And I also know that they're gonna grow well here because this is right next to my property, so I know that these trees are already well suited. So this is better than anything I could really get in a store. And so the way to do this is just to be practicing your foraging and getting really good at it. And I try to learn one new thing every week. I have not been being faithful with that lately, but the more you can spot the leaves and the foliage or the fruit or the nuts from the tree, the more you can spot it, slam on your brakes and take advantage of it. And there are different ways to go about it. I do a lot of elderberries. I've been watching for a lot, and I noticed they really grow a lot in the creeks and the ditches, so in low spots in the road. I start looking for them. So you can start to figure out the habitat for certain things and look in those spots for them. I kind of have noticed that where I can consistently find nitrogen fixers like mimosa trees or black locust, those kinds of things, and I can stop and get their seed pods. In fact, I think if I look here in the car right now, I have a boatload of seed pods. So I am always out there scrounging and foraging. It's a lot of fun. It makes driving a lot more fun, that's for sure. But it's a tremendous way to fill up your food forest. Those seed pods right there, that's probably 100 potential nitrogen fixing trees. How much would that cost me at a nursery? I really can't afford to farm. I can't afford to build a homestead. It's because of frugality and things like this that I'm able to really quickly build up my food resilience. So I encourage everyone to really practice that foraging. Just try to learn something new every week. Learn what's in your region, learn what seasons. You know, my eyes are peeled for walnut right now because I know they're dropping on the ground. Earlier in the year when the elderberries were in bloom and really visible, that's when I look for them, but that's also not a good time to harvest elderberries. So instead I just tag them with a little pink ribbon so I know to come back during the winter and take my cutting and start propagating those. And of course I encourage everyone to do this responsibly. Obviously be mindful of private property and don't ever take anything. Don't decimate a tree. If you're gonna take cuttings off something, obviously just take a little bit and make sure that that plant is still healthy. Do it at the right time of the year, study up on that. But also propagate whatever you're taking in that area. So the first stop I made, I found a couple of black walnut trees on this road. And the first stop I made, I took some for myself, but then I actually stopped, I dug a hole by the side of the road and I buried a few more black walnut trees because clearly they grow well there. And so with just a little bit of human intervention, we're probably gonna be able to expand that grove. And now every time I stop, if I see a blackberry or a black walnut, it's getting planted. And then in 10 years or so, either myself or maybe a child of mine or a friend or a neighbor or somebody else in this community, they too can stop and get walnuts, and this time they'll be twice as much or 4 times as much. So we're not only spreading food throughout our own homes and our own homesteads, but we're spreading food throughout the community for the people and for the wildlife as well. So it's a lot of fun. It's a fun way to live. It's a fun way to drive around. It makes everything a lot more dynamic, and that way you're just always farming, because really, why would you not want to be farming 24/7 constantly? It's the life to live, everybody. So I hope that inspires you to get out there and do a little bit of a roadside foraging or a little bit of guerrilla gardening. In the meantime, everyone, stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading.